Hello, everyone. I am Melissa McKay. I'm a developer advocate with JFrog, and I am here at the Speakeasy in JFocus 2023 with Sofia Larsson. Pleasure to have you here today. Would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Sofia Larsson. I'm a software developer from Sweden. I'm also a digital sustainability competence lead, and yeah, I'm a consultant working at a
Awesome.
company called 1337.
Okay. Digital sustainability. What is
Yes.
this?
What is this? Yeah, like, isn't digital sustainable?
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I've always had a personal interest in
Uh,
sustainability, like many others. I was worrying about how human activity affects the planet, and hearing about these numbers, like how in the past 40 years we have seen a 60% decline in the populations of mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, amphibians, and that all scares me.
right.
Um, but I always felt lucky because, like, I work in an industry that does not have any environmental impact.
Right. That's what you think, huh?
Yeah,
That. Yeah.
we're digitizing the world, and I thought, like, by digitizing everything, we're moving away from making the physical harm.
Okay.
But then eventually, I realized that digital is physical, and but instead of getting more scared,
Uh-huh.
um, it kind of turned my climate anxiety into action, and I really realized my full potential as a
Yeah.
developer.
Helps you get some power and not feel so helpless, right? Like
Yeah.
you can do something.
Hmm.
So give me an example. What exactly do we do that might not be as sustainable as we think?
Well, like, to give you an example, sometimes we think that if we order an e-copy of a book, that
Uh-huh.
that might be more sustainable than a
Right.
physical book. But if you think about, like, digital documents, we take so many copies of them.
Right.
And to what purpose? I don't know if I ever needed to go back, like, in history of my, I don't know how many thousands of copies I have of each Google Docs document that I write.
Right.
And, like, imagine if we were to go inside a room and find all digital copies we've made of every, like, document we've ever written. That would be crazy
Yes.
if those were, like, physical books.
Yes.
So yeah, digital is physical. To store those copies, it's bytes, and, like, to move bytes you need to use energy, and energy is not clean.
That's something we
So
don't think about.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point. Man, yeah, that's going to make me sit and reflect and think
but it makes
about.
sense when you think about it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, like, I was still thinking, like, but yeah, sure, it uses electricity, but electricity is good.
Uh,
We're transitioning from fossil fuels to electrical cars.
right.
But then you see that, oh, okay, but electricity is dirty and it comes from fossil fuels. We
That's
have,
right.
yeah, like, over 60% of all electricity in the world comes from fossil fuels.
Hmm. Wow.
Hmm.
So how do you learn this stuff? I mean, this isn't something that I'm um, met with every day. Like these are things that are new to me that you're telling me. It's really interesting things. How did you come about finding this information?
For many years, I was kind of researching and trying to find the purpose in my work. Like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I don't know, I thought that if I were to make a change, I needed to work for an environmental agency or something as a developer there.
Okay.
But so I was Googling for the keywords like sustainability and software development, and all that I could find, like, 7 years back, was more like how to write sustainable code so that you would save money.
Right.
But in the last, I don't know, 3 years, I've found so many other results on the internet,
Uh-huh.
like speaking about the digital carbon footprint.
Wow.
So yeah, I just stumbled over an article by Asim Hussein, who was at that time, I think he was like the cloud sustainability lead at Microsoft.
Uh-huh.
And he wrote about the 8 principles of sustainable software engineering. And I was like, wow, this is it. So yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
Okay, so you're here at JFocus.
Yeah.
You've got a talk coming up, right?
Yes.
What is your talk about?
About digital sustainability. Surprise.
Very cool. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I'm curious what the audience is going to think. I think this might be new information for a lot of us here. Like I said, not something developers think about regularly, so it'll be
No.
interesting. What do you think, or what would you advise someone who is also concerned about this? What is one thing that they can do to improve sustainability?
Oh wow. Okay. So it depends what you work with.
Okay.
So if you work with DevOps, most listeners work with something DevOpsy here,
Right.
I guess. The biggest thing you can do, I think, is move to the cloud. Just by moving your stuff to the cloud, makes
Rather
it
than
use
on-prem
rather than hosting on-prem.
stuff?
Generally
Okay.
speaking, okay. So some people are really good at hosting stuff on-prem as well. But generally, like if you move something to the cloud is so much more effective, especially hyperscale cloud
Okay.
providers. Hyperscale meaning very big. So just by putting stuff there makes it more energy efficient. And then you can start thinking about stuff like serverless architecture. So
Okay.
using functions so that you perfectly meet the demand instead of having servers running all the time.
Okay.
So that's the first thing that I would do. But then it's always also about using electricity where the electricity is green.
Right.
So if you can, you should put your run your code at data centers where the electricity is green.
Why is it green at data centers?
Sorry.
Why is it green at data centers?
So we have data centers all over the world,
Right.
and in some regions, the electricity is less green than in
Okay.
others.
Okay.
So, like, if you host at a data center in Poland, they burn a lot of fossil fuels. They have a lot of
I see.
coal-based electricity. I think like 80% of their electricity comes from coal.
Uh-huh.
But if you host, like here in Sweden, we have a lot of nuclear power, hydro.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
So how they're powered, how the data center's powered. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense when you think about it, right? It's so simple.
Interesting.
Like if you use a big cloud platform,
Uh-huh.
you know, it's choosing where to host your stuff is just one click. It's
Right.
literally a drop-down list, right? So it's
Yep.
so easy to transition your stuff from fossil fuels to green energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. So is this your first time at JFocus?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. This is my second. I came last year when it was held in the spring. So this is my first time in Stockholm when it's this cold.
Yeah.
but it is absolutely beautiful.
We have a beautiful view. Yeah.
Yes, you do. Yes, really, really admire how pretty it is out here,
Yeah.
and the architecture.
Yeah.
Are you planning on doing anything else around the conference? Any of the activities or other?
Besides eating food.
Besides eating food,
It's so much
awesome
food at
food here at
conferences.
the conference.
Yeah. No, but I have some talks that I want to hear.
Okay, cool. What are you
and-
interested in?
I don't know, because this is like a more Java-focused conference,
Yes.
and I'm a kind of a JavaScript .NET developer, so everything is new to me.
So you'll have lots of choices.
yeah, so I don't know which one to pick yet.
Cool. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm really interested in your talk. I'm really curious. You're going to share. Do you have slides you're going to share and things like that? Or
I can share them.
awesome. That would be cool. I'm really interested. So, digital sustainability.
Yes.
All right. Well, here with Sofia, having a wonderful time at JFocus 2023. And I hope to see you around at the conference.
You too.